Hi everyone, it's Brian here. I am here to air out my gripe with people who misuse the word theory in any sense, as to dismissing it without even either entertaining such or giving it the benefit of a doubt by doing some research. There are so many of these people who have such a piss-poor grasp on what a theory actually is and how it works. I've went on a tangent about this in LFC 6 when it comes to this, when I was covering the infamous 2018 debate debacle. Some people out there, I'm not going to name names for obvious reasons, act like a theory is supposed to be treated and acts like an unfalsifiable opinion, and they're amongst a crowd of insanely stupid people that go as far as asserting that regardless of research and regardless of how much it all shakes out, that a theory is just still a theory and only a theory, or for short, it's just a theory and nothing else, and can't be tested or hasn't been tested when it has. A theory doesn't simply remain one if it's proven definitively to be either true or false. Let me give you a bunch of examples so you know exactly what I'm talking about here. Firstly, the so-called theories that were and are proven definitively to be false. 1. There is no flat Earth theory because the Earth isn't fucking flat. 2. There is no conspiracy to cover up the actual shape of the Earth because, like the first example, the Earth is round and there would be no such goddamn benefit to such an idiotic conspiracy whatsoever. And finally, number 3, in no given enough circumstance is there any evidence of a conspiracy, as in a commonplace tradition and involving only Haitian immigrants or so-called migrants abducting pet dogs and cats en masse just to kill and then eat them in Springfield, Ohio. For this Trumpy conspiracy quote-unquote theory, it doesn't even begin to take flight as a proper theory. I'm not saying that the migrant crisis there is fake news, and fuck anyone who says that. For this claim, however, the whole eating cats and dogs shit, it's best to dismiss and ignore it so you don't give it power or verify it, whether if it's true or false, just to be neutral. I am not denying that there's a migrant crisis at all, like I've said before, but all they can hopefully do is manage to power through it, figure out better ways to relieve your town's resources from excessive straining, and not just to throw them out and deport them. Because you're not going to go through all this trouble just to deport them and try to pick up the pieces, only for that shit to happen again once the reverse effect happens. This is why borders don't fucking work. The funny thing here is, not only is Alexis Telia Farrell not even a migrant, she's also pretty much not Haitian in either blood or ethnicity. Just some random crazy African-American bitch. Her parents may be Haitian, but I'm not saying that they have migrated recently. Even if her parents were Haitian immigrants, why would they only wait until now to bring her in here when she's been a US citizen since she was born in 1997? And outside of that, what would have been based on just one case that the entirety of the immigrant Haitian community in Springfield, Ohio had nothing to do with? Conspiracy theories like this are the reason why bomb threats and other loony things happen when a schizoid takes everything he or she listens to, reads, and believes on Twitter or X and other unverifiable sources of information. Some of these schizophrenic motherfuckers believe it so goddamn wholeheartedly that people's lives are put at risk. And not only that, it puts such emotional and even mental trauma, and it also besmirches the town of Springfield, Ohio. But that's not to say that there isn't a Haitian tradition involving maybe cats and pigs, to name a few, even from where they came from, not pets. However, yes, there is some kind of weird tradition where they only take either completely abandoned or stray cats that nobody owns or any other wildlife they could find and do this whole sacrifice. And maybe they just only eat cats and pigs or whatever because they're poor. But I'm pretty sure that a lot of them, if they don't want to eat cats or whatever, they could just fish. Or come to here legally and learn how to fish here without being discriminated against. And not just to believe in fake news about that stupid fucking image in Columbus, Ohio, abducting geese. It may not be in season to take those geese just yet, but that's nowhere near the extremity of the claim of them just taking all the pet dogs and cats from that town and just eating them up. because it's not the fucking same thing as that claim. Do you know how many people who own pets in Springfield have to fucking hear the stupid same shit where people just take testimony as absolute fact and not give one shred of credible evidence or even proof to back this up? And it isn't even hard to do that shit. It isn't. You could record it. I mean, sure, you can verify it, whether or not if it's true, and if it's false, just say it's fucking false. And even if, by some stretch of the imagination, if that shit was really happening to that extent, what were you gonna do? If you were gonna do nothing, then what makes you have any right to complain about something if you're just gonna fucking let it happen and not make the authorities aware of what's going on to the extent where all of them are literally caught, arrested, charged, sentenced, and convicted, and then deported out of our fucking country? So that in a way you're actually doing something for your own fucking town. You don't have to dismiss whatever's happening in Springfield, Ohio when it comes to the Haitian immigrant crisis as fake news to know that they're not just taking every pet cat or dog they can find and just and just gobble them up like the Cookie Monster, just devouring an entire jar of cookies laced with PCP. A theory is not a fucking opinion at all. It should never be treated like an opinion. It should never be treated as absolute fact without fact-checking it or verifying as to whether or not if it's true or false. It should not be taken for fucking granted. Capiche? You understand, people? Whoever's out there making the people in Springfield, Ohio's life a living hell as if the Haitian migrants who are just fucking their lives up weren't enough? Do you really get it all now? Now, let me give you just one example of how a theory actually works and how it's properly put into practice from all the years of experience and research I've done and lots of videos I've made. A. The roast game happened. B. Culture shock is the deep-seated answer as to how and why this all happened. And C. The Jim Henson Company and Hallmark Entertainment bought out 45% of a religious channel known as the Odyssey Channel on November 16th, 1998, and it caused a massive culture shock so brutal that children you never met end up dying and part of them being used as a completely fringe alternative centerpiece meat choice up until another culture shock countered the one from 98 when Trump got elected in 2016. This entire culture shock came a day after, on the 17th of November 1998. Do you people see and understand how research can come a long way and why it all matters at the end? It's because you don't take theories for granted like it's your opinion. No one's entitled to a theory, everyone's entitled to their own opinions, but never conflate the two. Never lie about how a theory ought to work and how it works. Never, under any circumstance, exploit an actual problem by just exaggerating and sensationalizing a bunch of fucking fake-ass bullshit headlines and not verify whatever the fuck you're talking about, or just taking testimony without evidence as absolute fact. You know, I'm not amongst the listen and believe crowd for a fact. I'm Brian Mullins, the Fox, signing out.